I used to beg my parents, don't put me to bed. The bald men are going to get me.
Aliens, werewolves, and Dobby on this episode of The Breakdown. What's up, guys? Welcome to The Breakdown. I'm your host, Luke Mones, and if you're wondering why we aren't in our studio today, it's because this show is the unexpected show. I have no idea where we are. Now let's break it down. First up, we're taking a look at an InsideEdition greatest hit, where we embedded with a support group for alien abductees. And stick around for after this story, where we're going to give you some exclusive new behind-the-scenes info. Let's check it out.
I'm what people call a lifetime contactee. This has been happening since I can remember.
We basically have our own little meeting and gathering, and we share our experiences, both past and recent.
We've all been taking broad daylight.
Yeah.
It's basically a support group.
I used to beg my parents, don't put me to bed. The bald men are going to get me. I called them the bald men because I was dealing with the typical, like the movie aliens, the grays. They would come in with cloaks on, like capes, covered most of their bodies, and you get hit with this energy. They actually levitate you off the bed. They can throw you through solid walls. These experiences, I mean, they're not only unbelievable to the experiencer themselves, but it's something that's traumatic.
I find it very, very helpful to be able to talk about the experiences knowing that I'm not going to be judged. We have that special bond, similar to like combat vets. Our combat is just on a different battlefield. I'm sure I appear rational and lucid to other people, but if I talk about this, then wait a minute, it's got to be crazy. I'm hoping that people at least would be open to the possibility that this does happen, that the people experiencing it believe it's happening.
Hi, I bet you didn't expect to see me here. Joining me now via video chat is Sophie, one of the field producers from that story. Hi, Sophie.
Hi.
Can you tell us a little bit about what happened with the electronics and the car battery once you were at the camp?
So I was in touch with a few of these folks before we arrived at the campsite, and they wrote me some things that were like, bring extra batteries because they are known to drain when the aliens are around, and you're not gonna be able to shoot if you don't have enough batteries. And I was like, I completely disregarded it. I was like, there's no way that's gonna happen.
Round one, it's not full anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so when we first got there, we went to get back in the car to go to the grocery store, and there was like a light popping up in the car, and it was like the car battery's almost dead. And the man we were interviewing, one of our main subjects, he was just like, I told you so.
Oh, you're going to have nothing but technical glitches this whole thing.
Like this particular watch, this is the only kind of watch I can wear. No other watch works, it stops. Same thing with cell phones. I burn through cell phones, anything electronic.
Was there a point that you were scared for your safety?
I think there was definitely a moment of like, or a few moments of like, what have I done? I'm scared. Let's like stick with each other the whole time. But the folks of Starborn Support were so welcoming and so lovely, and that quickly vanished.
So, Sophie, did this story make you think about alien abductees in a different way?
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I went into the shoot thinking it was going to be this profile of like this group of people who were really out of touch with reality, and I in some ways became a believer. It's really just about like people who need community and family, who feel like they've all experienced this collective traumatic thing, who really like care for each other.
Do you believe in aliens? If so, why? If not, why not?
After this experience, I do think there's a large possibility that aliens do exist. I think that thousands of people believe that they have had encounters, and so why not, right?
I think the audio is breaking up a little bit. He's got a mic underneath his shirt, and Daniel here isn't quite sure. I don't know if he's experienced this before.
I have.
So
That's just
Up next, Sal Bono has an unexpected flashback from the 90s. And stick around after, because we tracked down one of the people in that story 20 years later.
So here's a story from 1993 where an entire town in Wisconsin thought a werewolf was in their midst. Let's take a look.
I told my mom I thought I saw a werewolf, and my mom believed me.
I was walking along a good
probably 7 to 10 seconds before it had turned its head.
For 2 years, people in Elkhorn, Wisconsin whispered about a king-sized creature who roamed Bray Road. Like Doris Gibson, who'd seen it on Halloween night 1991. She had gotten out of her car when she thought she had hit an animal.
This big thing come just like trucking, just trucking down the road at me, man. I looked at it and I'm like, and I ran, I got back in the car.
Lori Andreezy remembers her close encounter with the creature.
I saw it kneeling on the side of the road, and it was eating something. And I slowed down because I thought it was a person at first. So I came up from behind it, and I realized it wasn't a person when I saw its pointy ears.
Linda Godfrey, a reporter and cartoonist, drew up this composite picture of the beast. All agreed it was very big, with pointy ears and broad-chested with a shaggy coat, streaked with silver, gray, or black.
It had brought its right hand up, stopped, looked over by the car, real nonchalant, and made eye contact with both Scott and I.
He was big and he looked intimidating. I was scared of his appearance.
Werewolf mania broke out in Elkhorn. Letters came pouring in. One in particular sent chills down Linda's spine.
He said it was too large to be a wolf. It had a terribly unkempt look to its fur, wild, not normal.
So, is it a dog, coyote, or werewolf? Believe what you will, but just remember, it's here, just waiting.
Luke actually caught up with journalist Linda Godfrey over 20 years after she first reported on the story. Let's take a look at what she had to say.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us, Linda.
I'm really glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
What was the reaction like after we, at Inside Edition, released that first piece?
The editor and I had talked about it and thought, well, people will have some fun, for a couple of weeks and then it'll go away. Well, nothing could have been further from the truth. And Inside Edition was one of the first national shows to come out and do a report on it. I had never expected it to draw such interest. And people were contacting me. That was really before we had the internet as we know it. So they were going to the trouble of writing me longhand letters, or finding the actual telephone number to contact me. They were that interested in calling. So it has never stopped since then. It's been 27 years and it's still happening.
If you had to guess, what do you believe the witnesses saw on Bray Road and in the broader scope? What do you believe that the witnesses have seen who've come in with these firsthand accounts reporting to you over the years?
The truth is, I don't believe there is one conclusion, even after all this time. Over the years, after talking to so many people, reading the reports, doing other research on similar things throughout other civilizations, and you find that this idea of part human, part canine creatures existed for a very long time. I never really thought that was it, and I do really believe that there's something that looks mostly canine.
Did you find that the reaction was more fear-based, or did you think it was more kind of positive and curious?
In most cases, when people saw this creature originally and up till now, they have been terrified is the word that most of them use. People will report remaining disturbed about it for years and years afterwards.
Up next, an unexpected story about a spaceship where they... Hey, it's time for the comment section. How come you aren't frozen?
Maybe I don't feel like freezing for you, man. Just get out of here.
Can you please freeze? Lots of commenters have commented and I need to read the comments for them.
Fine, I'll freeze, but I'm not doing it for you.
Woo.
I'm doing it for you.
Thanks, Luke. Now it's time for the comment section. Danadu Fernando wrote, "Can you interview a news reporter?" Leigh, space or Earth?
Space.
Celebrity crush?
Bernadette Peters.
Favorite sandwich?
Peanut butter and jelly.
Interesting. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Why?
Because they bark.
Favorite dog?
Chihuahua.
Favorite cat?
Oh, one with hair.
Broadway or Hollywood?
Broadway, of course.
Favorite street in New York?
Times Square. That's not a street.
Next question. Who's your favorite Broadway star?
Bernadette Peters.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Do you hate me?
No.
Okay, thanks.
Why are you still here?
Can I hang out?
No, I have a show to do.
Okay, so here's a story you may have seen a little while ago about a woman who discovered a mysterious, shall we say, Potter-esque figure in her driveway.
The mom whose security cameras captured that creepy creature is speaking out today, and she's really freaked out.
It's something you don't see every day.
The strange figure was recorded frolicking in the dead of night. Social media is going nuts. Some say it looks like an alien or an elf, like Dobby from the Harry Potter movies.
Such an honor it is.
Others have a more down-to-earth explanation. It's a skinny kid doing the chicken dance wearing underwear on his head. And guess what? Vivian has a 9-year-old son named Bobby. Could it be your son Bobby just goofing around?
No, I wouldn't let him out at dark by himself.
What's Bobby like? Is he a goofy kid? Does he like dancing around?
He likes to play around and joke around, and he loves to dance.
Does he like to dance with his underwear on his head?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Wow, that creature really looked like Dobby, and I think it's unfair that so many people question if that was like her kid in the video, okay? When you run a security camera, you never know what you're gonna pick up. Like, we have a camera rolling in our dark studio right now. Let's check out that video feed. Whoa. What is that thing? Wow, it really looks like an alien. It's kind of making itself, really making itself home at our studio, huh? Is he dancing? Is nobody else freaked out by that? Wait a minute, that's our PA, that's Jordan. But that doesn't make any sense. Jordan's right there. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Remember to ring that bell for notifications and subscribe so you never miss an episode. We'll see you next time on The Breakdown.